The grass is up to your waist and it does not move the way grass should move. You stop. You have been walking all morning and your legs are tired and your mind is on the camp and the food and the shade, but your body is not listening to any of that. Your body has gone completely still. Your ears are trying to hear something that is not there. Your eyes are sweeping the ground in a pattern you did not choose and cannot control. And then you see it. A curve. A coil. A shape that should be a branch, except branches do not hold themselves like that, stacked and patient and wrong. You do not run, you do not scream. You take one step back, very slowly, and the step back is the most important step of your entire life, because you have just met the only predator on Earth that humans never managed to outrun, outfight, or outsmart, and you are about to find out whether your ancestors ever figured out what to do about it. Think about that meeting for a second. How many times has it happened? How many humans have stood exactly where you are standing now, staring at a snake, with no antivenom, no hospital, no phone, no helicopter? How many walked away, and how many never got the chance? What did the survivors do differently? Those questions are the whole video, and the answers are stranger than you think, because the true story of snakebite is not about snakes at all. It is about the gap between what looks smart and what actually works. Let us start with the enemy. Snakes have been biting things for a very long time. Venomous snakes evolved roughly 60 million years ago, which means they were biting dinosaurs and then our ancestors, and they never really stopped. The biologist Isbell proposed something in 2006 that sounds absurd but is not. She argued that the reason primates, including humans, have such sharp eyesight, the reason we can spot a hidden shape in grass from 20 meters away, is snakes. For eons, the primates that spotted snakes first outlived the ones that spotted them second. So evolution built us a snake detector. Your eyes, your reflexes, that freeze that happened in the grass a moment ago, that is hardware installed by millions of years of being bitten. You are a snake detection machine. The problem is, once the detection fails, once the bite happens, the machine has no next step.
What did ancient humans do when it failed? Hold on to that image, because next we visit somewhere that looks helpful and is actually the most dangerous place in this video. The best treatment for a snakebite 10,000 years ago was cut the wound open, suck the venom out, tie a rope above the bite. All three of those sound like medicine. All three of them were wrong. Cutting the wound opened a clean path for poison to spread deeper and invited infection into a leg that was already in trouble. Sucking the venom out, if you somehow managed to get anything, put the venom into your own mouth, where cuts and sores turned you into the second patient. And the tourniquet, the rope tied tight above the bite, was supposed to hold the venom in place. It held the blood in place instead. Progress. People lost limbs to the treatment. People died of the treatment while the bite itself healed. For thousands of years, the best medical advice for ancestors had was to make the problem worse, with confidence. Now, before you feel superior, you should know that modern humans did the exact same thing. For decades, the official first aid for snakebite in many countries was cut, suck, and tie. The United States military recommended cutting and sucking as late as the 1960s. It did not work then either. We just had better bandages for our bad ideas. But not everything was bad. The Kung San of the Kalahari carried specific roots and herbs for snakebite, passed down through generations. The Hadza of Tanzania knew which plants to chew and which to avoid after a bite. Some of these remedies contained compounds that genuinely helped, reducing swelling and pain. Some did nothing, and some, like the ones that made you drink a mixture that was mostly alcohol and hope, made things worse. The problem was never a lack of trying. It was that nobody could tell the difference between the remedy that worked and the remedy that just felt like it worked. You had one test subject, yourself, and you could not run the experiment twice.
Here is the part that changes everything. The deadliest thing in the forest became one of the most prescribed medicines on Earth. In 1965, a Brazilian scientist named Sergio Ferreira was studying the venom of the jararaca pit viper, a snake that ranks among the most dangerous in South America. He found a compound in the venom that lowered blood pressure. In 1981, that compound became a drug called captopril, the first ACE inhibitor,
a medicine that today is taken by millions of people every single day. A substance designed to kill you, repurposed to keep you alive. The snake that could end your life in hours now quietly regulates your blood pressure while you sleep. And the antivenom itself, the thing that actually saves people, came from a gamble that paid off. In 1895, a French scientist named Albert Calmette injected a horse with cobra venom in small doses over and over. The horse did not die. Nobody asked the horse, but the horse produced antibodies that could neutralize cobra venom, and Calmette turned that blood into the first antivenom. Every antivenom in the world today is still made the same way. We inject a large animal with small amounts of venom, collect its blood, and process it into medicine. The cure for snakebite is technically a very brave horse. Now the numbers. The World Health Organization reported in 2019 that every year around 5.4 million people are bitten by snakes. Around 138,000 of them die. And those deaths are not spread evenly across the world. They are concentrated in places without hospitals. A 2020 study of snakebite deaths in India, the largest ever conducted, estimated that around 58,000 Indians die from snakebite every year. That is more than the population of a small city, gone every year, one bite at a time. The deadliest snakes in India are called the Big Four: the cobra, the Russell's viper, the saw-scaled viper, and the common krait. Between them, they kill more people than any other animals on Earth except mosquitoes and other humans. And the tragedy is that most of those deaths are treatable. Antivenom exists. It works. The problem is time. If you get bitten in Australia today, you get a compression bandage and a helicopter. If you got bitten in the Stone Age, you got a friend to carry you. Same logic, slower helicopter. And in places where the helicopter never comes, the logic is still ancient. Which brings us to the strangest part of the whole story. Humans did not just fear snakes, we worshipped them. The snake goddess of Minoan Crete, carved around 1600 BCE, holds a serpent in each raised hand. The Nagas of Hindu mythology are half human, half cobra, guardians of rivers and treasure. The Aztecs built temples to Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, one of their most powerful gods. Cleopatra in 30 BCE chose a snake to end her own life, because the snake was associated with royalty, with eternity, with power that no ordinary weapon could match. Thousands of years of humans looking at the thing that killed us and deciding it was holy. Maybe that was just fear wearing a costume, or maybe it was respect. The snake is the only animal that could kill you, and we could never quite decide what to do with that. You are watching this from a couch. The nearest snake is probably not in this room, probably. But that freeze you felt at the start of this video, that is real. That is your inherited hardware, 60 million years in the making, still running. Your ancestors did not survive snakes because they had better medicine. They survived because their eyes were sharper, their reflexes faster, their luck better. They cut wounds and lost limbs and made the same mistakes we made. And some of them, enough of them, chose the slow step back instead of the fast step forward. That one slow step is the oldest medicine there is, and it still works better than almost anything we have invented since.